So one, there's many different strategies with getting business in real estate, having a big network, sphere of influence, door knocking, phone calls. I like people, so I rather meet a person face to face, and you can read a lot by their energy, by their actions, by their eyes. So for me, it was all about knocking on doors, and that's how I got my first couple listings.
Welcome to the Sold Right Away podcast, where we turn real estate marketing challenges into business success. I'm Maude Leger, real estate marketing expert and strategist. Each episode, I sit down with driven realtors, bold entrepreneurs, and industry leaders who bring one big challenge to the table, and we tackle it heads on. You won't just hear stories here, you'll walk away with actionable strategies you can apply right away to build your business, get more leads, and close more deals. If you're ready to market smarter and win more, this is the show for you. And that's why today I've brought on Jamie from MW Realty and Keller Williams. From corporate ad agencies to door-knocking real estate success, Jamie shares his grit, systems, and human connections, and how these fuel his mission to deliver value in real estate to his clients. Let's get to my chat with Jamie. Hi, Jamie. Thanks for joining us on the episode today. Tell us, how did you arrive to real estate?
Thanks for having me. I'm very excited about this opportunity. How did I arrive to real estate? That's a great question, and it's about 10 to 15 years in the works, or was in the works, I should say.
Yes.
So I'll back everything up to my first time that I wanted to become a realtor. I know that going to university, I went to Western University. Coming out of university, there were two different careers that I was really interested in. One was real estate, because I've always loved houses, and I wanted to be an architect when I was younger.
Nice.
And the second one was advertising. So fast forward through the three years of university, and everyone flooded the market with either being a realtor or a teacher. So I decided to go against the grain. Yeah, believe it or not, I decided to go against the grain. So went to the advertising route, worked for some big multinational agencies where they put a lot of time and effort into training their talent. Did some career at Mattel Fisher-Price as well, so selling from concepts to selling Hot Wheels and Barbies, knowing fully well that I've always been an entrepreneur at heart, and I would always own my own business. It's just a matter of time. And what I understood and what I learned in the corporate world was they put a lot of money into their talent. So they train them in terms of presentation courses, in terms of Excel courses, leadership courses. Also a great place to build a network, because if you're working for a big company, you have access to lots of different people at lots of different stages of their life and different departments. So took a lot out of that, and knowing that I was going to open my own businesses one day, I took everything that I liked from the corporate experience, and I left everything I didn't like at the corporate experience, and I opened my first business. I bootstrapped several businesses post-university and post my corporate career, and loved them. Actually, a few of them are still operating to this day, which is exciting. So now we're getting back to the real estate thing. So post-university, told you I went the advertising route, but I've always had that in my back of my head, real estate, because it's always been a passion for me. I'm the son of my mother is a interior designer, and she's been one her whole life. So I've always been in and around that environment, which I really enjoyed. During university, I worked for my mom's general contractor. So I learned all the different systems of the house. I learned the tools on the trade. So I built and we renovated. So that was a fantastic experience. I invested in the housing market also quite a while ago. So having the back end side of things was really going to help me when I actually do get my license and become a realtor. So we're going to fast forward that a little bit now, and been married for 17 years, happily married. And over the past 17 years, I've been telling my wife about real estate and talking about it. And she's finally said, shit or get off the pot, basically. She didn't want to hear it anymore. So I went back.
Stop talking, just do it.
Hey, I just needed that little push, you know what I mean? I had a lot of things going on, and we have two young kids, which is great, and love them to death, and they're very active. So went back to school a couple of years ago to Humber, the real estate course. I did that in 7 months, and I graduated with a 92, so I was extremely happy about that.
Nice.
And I haven't looked back. So in real estate now over a year. I've got a great partner who's been in the business for 15 years. And we're a great team. We bring a lot of value to our clients. And real estate it's everything I expected it to be and more. You're dealing with different people and personalities. which is great. I've got all
Lovely.
the patience for people, not a lot of patience for technology, so it works well on my side of things. And I also understand that no two people are
Okay.
the same, right? So you can't talk to one client the way you talk to another client because they may not absorb the information or digest the information or appreciate it, right? So for me, it was all about understanding people, the psychology, the sociology, and working with people at different stages of their life, looking for different things. And yeah, I couldn't be happier, to be honest with you. Yeah.
Nice, nice. What a journey to end up in real estate, but always
Oh,
having dabbled
it's
into it.
always been mode. It's always been in the back of my head all the time, and it's just a
Yeah.
matter of time until I did it. And as my wife would say, or my mother, anything I put my mind to, I accomplish. So for me, it's been great. And like I said, just over a year now, and it doesn't even feel like it's real, to be honest with you.
Okay, I love it. So now that you've been doing it for over a year, what was the moment that you thought, all right, this is it? Like that you were finally, I'm doing it and this is going to be my thing and I'm going to be good
Great
at it.
question. So again, love people. So one, there's many different strategies with getting business in real estate, having a big network, sphere of influence, door knocking, phone calls. I like people, so I rather meet a person face to face, and you can read a lot by their energy, by their actions, by their eyes. So for me, it was all about and knocking on doors, and that's how I got my first couple of listings. And the time that it really happened was the
Nice.
first listing I got. It was not too far from where I live now, and knocking on the door probably around 10:30, 11 in the morning. Just to provide information on what's happening in my neighborhood with buying and selling. And the lady answers the door, and I gave her my pitch, and I'm not pushy, so I just gave her some information, and she's like, "Well, you know what? I'm interested in selling my house," and I said, "That's great. I'd love to help you." Um, so the interesting story
Nice.
behind this and the impact we made on this lady's life was phenomenal. So she's a single
Right.
mom with two daughters, and she's living in a house that the roof needed to be fixed. Walls were like not they were coming apart. Like it was a disaster. Um, she was just recently in on holiday. I think it was in Mexico, and she said that we got all this information further as we started talking to her. The second time we met her, obviously, she mentioned that
Hmm.
she was in Mexico with her daughters, and all she can think about and how stressed she was on the beach about how she's going to sell her house, who's going to help her out, because she's not familiar with the process. So almost like kismet, she thought it was I was sent to her because she reached out to a higher power, and she's very spiritual. And she tells me she never answers the door. And now we know nowadays people don't answer the door because it's weird when people knock on your door. So she's like, I never answered the door.
Yeah.
I was on vacation. I spoke to my father. Her father passed away. She spoke to her father's spirit when she was there. And I show up the next morning. So for her, she was like, she had goosebumps. She was like, it was very emotional, but it was a fantastic opportunity to really make an impact and change her life and help her daughters out. So again, time and a place, and I also believe in that higher spirit and that sort of energy. And yeah, it was we sold her place, we got her a new place, her kids are in school, and it's just a beautiful situation. And that was the moment that I said, wow, like I didn't realize what kind of impact you can make on someone's life being a realtor. And there's
Being a
and we know
realtor.
there's so
Yeah.
many different ways, like when you're buying and selling, when you're buying a house. Are we going to get you the best price? Are we going to get it the best neighborhood? Are they going to be the best schools? Is the closing going to work? When you're selling a place, we want to make sure that we're optimizing the amount of money coming in, the ROI. We want to also minimize the amount of stress and minimize the amount of time the house is on the market. So there's so many different ways to make an impact on your client's life. And I guess I fell in love with that after my first listing, and it's been great ever since.
Nice. So that's what like got you going and fulfilled and feeling the
Absolutely, and
impact.
I feed off of other people's energy, and
Nice.
she was loving it because we were there from the knock on the door past the transaction just to make that whole process seamless and remove all the headaches by providing a visual calendar where she knows exactly what's going on, to taking her to seeing places, to helping her with her service providers and canceling those and activating those at her new place. So there's so many touch points and so many interactions you have with your clients. It always makes sense to have a good relationship and work with people that you get along with, and vice versa.
Yeah. Yeah. So you touched on a few points there. So what would you say is one thing that you're really good at? Would it be the people, the processes, or
So
both, I
I'm
guess?
very process driven, owning my own businesses and working for corporates. So they put those structures and systems in
Yeah.
place. And Keller Williams, hats off to Keller Williams, they're fantastic when it comes to systems and processes. So I really love the people as much as I love the processes, because you can love the people all you want. If you don't have the processes, that's going to go off the rails eventually, right? So it's all about making sure you're communicating
Mhm.
clearly, and that you're also, there when your client needs you at all times and available whenever they need you, really.
Yeah, yeah, that's amazing. Awesome. Tell us, what's one valuable lesson that you've learned as a realtor so far, even
So
though.
one valuable lesson I learned before I became a realtor that I use as a realtor
Oh,
is always document your conversations. Um, So we know
oh,
that nowadays there's so many ways to consume content. People like phones, text messages, WhatsApp, emails. So really, it's identifying with your clients which type of communication works best with them, and then making sure that you're adhering to that. So if my client likes to have a phone call, my first thing is pick up the phone, have a conversation, and then as soon as we get off the phone, I followed up with an email just saying, "Hey, it was great speaking with you. Here are the points that we talked about. Please let me know if I missed anything," and then it's off. So again, it's just closing the loop on everything, because I find that if you don't have the communication, then your clients are calling you, asking you what's going to happen. You're not really doing your job well, I find.
hmm. Okay, I love it. And what is the key to your success so far?
Aligning myself with good people, like-minded people that are ambitious, that have been in real estate for quite some
Hmm.
time, and I can learn from their mistakes. Um,
Hmm.
just being at the office or being around other realtors that have been in the business for a long time and having conversations, I learned so much, which is fantastic. And for me, it's the people. Again, it goes back to the people. It's surrounding yourself with the right people, like Ryan McLean, fantastic individual. Moni Mula, my partner, fantastic individual. There's so many of them out there. So it's really finding the ones that you mesh well with, and then just, having
Hmm.
conversations, learning things, sharing experiences. And yeah, so people, love people.
Nice. People, I love it. When you think about your partnership with Moni, what's the one most impactful thing that you both have implemented as a business or as a partnership together that made your team
Another great
successful?
question. You must have done this before. So I would say, it goes to value. So we know, and this is one of the words that I would hear quite often. Talking with clients, talking with agents, value, 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 value. And I built a lot of my other businesses on strategic partnerships, and that was a great advantage for my business and a great advantage for my partner's business. So when it comes to myself and Moni, what we did was identifying what value means to different people. We have a farm that we do my area and Moni's area, which is Oakwood Village and St. Clair West. And we're knocking on doors. We're asking the residences, hey, what would you need for your house, or what would bring value to you? What sort of services are you missing out on? Um, who don't you know that you need to know? So we started doing this, and we started asking a lot of people. We had a big sample size on, what kind of services they're looking for. And, when they came back to us, it was an HVAC, it was an interior designer, it was a cleaner, it was a storage company. So what we did was we partnered up with some credible, fantastic service providers, and we put together a program called the VIP Client Program. And this is available to all of our clients. And what it's supposed to do, the objective is to really reduce the costs, stress, and time that our clients are going to do or need in order to make their transaction smooth. So we provide all those people with,
Hmm.
with great discounts. We've vetted these people. Moni's been using these people for over 10 to 15 years now. So we created this program, and with every client that we have, we provide them with a VIP card, and it's a nice little credit card. It looks like there's a QR code on it. They scan that, and they go to a landing page where they can access all these different service providers and get the discounts that they want. Um, so we did that,
Nice.
and we got a lot of great feedback on it. And then we started asking more questions, and we found out that they're also looking for some personal services. So personal services is something that's great because everybody needs them. So a local dry cleaner, a local salon, a dog groomer or a pet groomer, a wealth manager, a real estate lawyer, a mortgage broker. So we now have a program that we've actually fleshed out a lot bigger than it originally was planned, to have our service providers for the home on one side of the world, and the other side would be all the personal service providers. A gym trainer would be another one. So our clients have access. as I mentioned, we do the white glove service. So we contact them at the beginning, and our relationship goes way past the closing. And they have access. They have access
Yeah.
to these discounts and to these service providers for as long as they want.
I think that's a great way too for you to stay in touch with clients after the process, which is often lacking with real estate agents. The transaction's done, they walk away, you never hear back from your realtor type thing. But with your program, if they need, I don't know, a hair salon, a massage, whatever you're mentioning, they can still think of you as a realtor. So I think
Yeah, I
that's
think you,
key.
you made a great point there. It's all about top of mind because, we may have worked with that client who's
Mm,
having great experience using some of the services, and they have a friend that's looking for a realtor. So again, staying top of mind and providing value, even past the transaction and past the closing. I think, like you said, there's a lot of realtors that fall flat on that side of things, and that's sort of where we excel.
yeah.
And we do, for all of our clients post the closing, we would do 4 touch points with letters, handwritten letters, just thanking them for the opportunity. That touches on some personal things that we learned about them while we were working with them. So yeah, it's building these programs I enjoy, and we do see a lot of value in it, and we do have clients that are taking us up and using the services, which is it's a win-win-win situation.
Yeah. Nice. Nice. That's amazing. I love it. What would you say is one thing that you must do or that must happen in your business for you to be successful? Like almost like you're non-negotiable.
It's a great question. Non-negotiable, I would say putting the right processes and systems in place is a non-negotiable.
Yeah.
Making sure that our
Hmm.
CRM is up to date and clean, our database, because this is going to help future-proof our business. So getting our business organized is something that I enjoy doing. So almost like the operational side of things. I come with that skill set
Hmm.
from owning businesses in the past. So that's number one. That's non-negotiable because if you don't have a strong foundation, you can have the most beautiful house on top, but it's not going to last, right? So our businesses starts with the
True.
foundation up, and as we build up, we continue having conversations with our clients, asking them what they're looking for, asking them what they need. And then it's our job to make that happen. So typically, Moni and I consider ourselves critical thinkers and solution providers for our clients. And, we're there from A to Z,
Yeah,
basically.
I can see that. Yeah, for sure. So you talk a lot about processes. Processes is your
Yep.
thing, other than people. What would you say is one process that you cannot live without?
One process that we cannot live without for my business or in general.
I guess do one of each then if you have
So
to.
the process for myself is going to the gym every day. So I go to the gym 5 days of the week in the morning,
Oh,
and I'm
okay.
there 6 o'clock. And I don't drink coffee. So that's my up and at 'em. That's how I start my day, and it gets me focused. It gets the adrenaline going. It gets the blood flowing. So that's one process in my personal life that I can't give up, and it's part of my DNA now. For my business,
Love it. Love
it's
it.
the
Love it. Love it.
database. It really is. It's making sure that our database is clean, making sure that our contacts are tagged, making sure that our smart plans are active. So we're getting automation going out. So a lot of the stuff that we can't live without is the back end part of our business. The front end part of our business, we're both people persons, people persons or people. I don't know what you want to call it. So that's
People,
not the hard
people.
part. It's really making sure that we're organized in the back end because, as we all know, as business owners, if your front end is heavy and your back end is not,
Yeah.
it's not going to be a successful business, and vice versa. If your back end's
Hmm.
heavy and your front end is not, it's not going to be successful. So we're trying to balance it out.
You're not. You're
You
not
got it. You got
balanced.
it. So
Yeah.
it's a constant struggle because we're always adding new things to our business and trying new things out, keeping our core there. But again,
Hmm.
it's trial and error, and then it's knowing what you're good at and really doubling down on that. I find.
Yeah. Yeah. That's cool. So, what would, if somebody was to shadow you for a week, they're following you in your business, what would surprise them about how you work?
How I work. So I've had this happen a couple times, so I can give you the feedback.
Uh-oh.
um, so I've been told that I'm a machine. I've been told that I'm very well organized. I'm told that I'm really good with people. So a lot of the things that they would
Mhm.
see, I would hope that they would have taken notes or understood because that's how you're going to be successful, right? It's putting the client first and it's providing that value. Like the sale of a house is very very simple and anybody can basically do that went to school. It's getting along with that person and understanding that personality type and how you interact with that personality type is really what's the most important. Because when we're knocking on doors, if someone answers the door with it open a little bit, you can tell right off the bat that they're not going to give you the time of day, right? So you need to know sort of,
Yeah.
you need to be able to read people, social intelligence almost. Um, People that come with me would
Mm,
be,
yeah.
they would say, I would hope that they would say that he's very ambitious, that he's got his head on his shoulders, and that there's a plan. Because you can't do anything without a plan, I find. Yeah,
I love that. Yeah, the planning, but it seems like you have both part figured out. The emotional, like you said, the social, the people, but then the plan, the grit, the process, and the
I
business
try.
side of
I
things.
try.
Nice, nice. All right. So we have a segment in the podcast now that's called the Ask Me Anything. So this is where we get to
Okay.
flip the script and then you get to ask me questions about marketing, about business lead generating, or business growth. So what do you have on your mind?
Tell me how you would make a new agent successful in the digital side of marketing for their business. What would you recommend? Is it a phased
Okay.
approach? Let me know what your thoughts are.
Yeah. Yes. So love that question. Thank you. Taking your digital marketing to the next level, I would start with the basic start is to review what, like, audit your social media right now. So I would have a look and do an audit. What does your social media look like? The feel, the brand on one end, but also the messaging. If you keep having the same message, and we talked about your VIP program, and that's something of value, like having the same message throughout all your platforms, what you offer as a realtor would be the number one thing I would look for. Branding, making sure it looks the same, the colors, the fonts, the logo. Your circle in Instagram is the same on Facebook and YouTube and all of that. So that would be like the audit part and then the base part. Then if you want to take a level up a little bit, I would start thinking about your messaging. What is it that is the value you bring to the table? Is it your VIP program? Is it anything else? Is it your approach, your processes? And then we just start like hammering down what is it that you do that's valuable, because there's 1,000 realtors out there, thousands of the realtors out there in your own neighborhood, in your own niche. So then we figure out, what is your niche? Is it the neighborhood, or is it a specific type of people in the neighborhood? And then I would say, even though you can do business with everyone, the idea here is, where can you spend your marketing dollars and effort and time onto a specific niche that will bring you results? And then you can have, once you figure it out, you can have 10 niches, as long as you have a specific purpose that's talking to this one person specifically. Then social media again, continue with consistency of posting, consistency in your messaging, and have fun with it. That's have fun with videos. Always make a long form video first, and then have short form videos afterwards that you can, like we talked about that too, driving traffic from your social media videos to the long form YouTube, and then get
That's
some
great.
leads like that.
It
Does
does.
that
It
answer
sure
your
does. So
question?
consistency and doing it at a phased approach, right? Because we all know there's so much out
Yeah.
there in the digital space. What's going to work best for me? I guess, like you said, it's all depends on what their plan is, what their objectives are, and who their audience is, right?
Yeah, yeah. The best way to explain it would be
Yep.
the audit first, and
Yep.
then the niche. Once you have your audit and you have your niche, is how do you bridge the gap? How do you go from where you are now, what you need to do to talk and to reach these specific niches that you have, and then build a
Love
plan.
it.
You're pro
Plan,
at that.
execute, follow up, right? I,
Yes,
I got another
exactly,
question for you.
exactly.
So, with so many realtors
Yeah,
out
go
there,
for it.
you see a ton of, advertising for the brokerage, and you see some agents have their own brand. Will you give me the
Yeah.
benefits of having your own brand as a realtor and not leveraging the brokerage's brand? What's your thoughts on that?
Multiple angles to that. Like, I know you have your MW Realty.ca, that's your brand, that's your logo, that's your colors, your font, and everything. If you were to only focus on the brokerage brand, which is what brokerages do want, because they
Build their
want you
brand.
to, again, build their brand as well. What if you switch brokerage? Are you ever switching brokerages? If you build all your font, your logo to a specific brokerage, what happens when you switch? number one. Number two, though you do want the big brand backing your brand, so it's a way to merge both, to have both, because you're still you. If somebody only sees Keller Williams per se on a sign, it
Yeah,
could be any other agent. So when you start building your own brand, if you have started building your own brand, which you do, I would recommend keeping it consistent. Like if you look at your business cards, your social media, your sign on the lawn, they have to be exactly the same. If they're not, you're competing against yourself. You're literally gonna have one brand, and people don't really will remember. They'll just remember the feeling of what they saw.
that's
So
right. And correct me if I'm wrong. I read a stat somewhere that consumers trust people with behind a brand as opposed to not having a brand. Correct? Because there's a little bit more. Like,
definitely, because also real estate agent, right? So many bad reps. Can I trust this person if they don't have a brand or branding, or they don't look professional? Like would I really trust someone I can like handle that largest transaction
absolutely.
of my life with the most amount of money exchange to someone that I'm not sure who they are, what their brand is, who's backing their brand, because you also need the backing. The Keller Williams or all those brokerages
Yeah,
need to be backing uh, your
I love it.
transactions.
And what do you love
Yeah.
about what you do? What's the
Oh,
most? I would
I
say,
love.
where do you get the most enjoyment from when you're helping people out or when you're working on people?
I get the most enjoyment working with clients on their digital marketing when I see wins. Like this is like when I see the client getting more out of their business or their brand or their social media, this is where I get all excited. And then I want to do more and more and more and more and more. And then I start figuring out what else can we do? How else can we do it? This is what gets me excited. The winning and the seeing the results from what we do. I think that gets
That's
me
great.
going every time. Yeah, yeah. If I hear a client, it's I got another lead. Like I love when people
Oh,
say
for
that.
sure.
I just love it. It just every day, and I can get like sometimes I'm like that happened recently. I was with someone filming a video, and then the other person in the office says, "We got a lead while you were filming
That's
this
great.
video," and then I'm like, "Okay, this yeah, this is great." We have meetings every Monday with another client, and they say we got 3 leads on the weekend. Every like it's so I don't know exciting. It's like the
Rewarding,
adrenaline
eh?
kicks in.
That's great.
Yeah, the reward. Yeah, cool. Nice. So let's move on to the marketing
Yeah.
challenge of the episode. What do you have that is challenging in your marketing that you'd like to
What is
tackle?
challenging in my marketing that I would like to tackle? It would be, I think, when the time is right, it will be paid advertising through social media or paid advertising through
Ah,
Google.
yeah.
Um, that's sort of where I believe the next step would be. We have someone right now that runs our social media and does a good job, but everything is organic. So it's just a matter of lining things up in our events that we have and making sure
Mhm.
that we're current. So that I would say would be my next step for taking MW Realty to the next level. Would be a good. We need a
Love it.
strategy. We need financial backing and execution. That's what we need.
Yeah, yeah, I love it. I think that's a great point in your business where you are right now because it would be about all again reviewing an audit, making sure that everything is set up properly, everything looks great, the messaging is great. And once you have that, creating ads is so much easier. You have your messaging, you have your niche, who you're targeting, so you can create one ad per niche, and then at that point you're just winning. It's like it's clear. And the other thing that you can do as well is figuring
Yeah,
out the keywords that are trending or that the way those specific niche are searching for what you're offering and use that into every single social media post, your hashtag, your YouTube tags, also your uh, social media paid ads. At that point, you keep using the same over and over again, and then people will start kind of like seeing you on all their social media platforms, no matter
and it goes
where they
back to that
are,
top of
which
mind
is
again, right?
the end goal that you want.
Top of mind.
Yes, yes, being top of mind. Yeah, and then combining that with real life, right? Now you're online organically, you're online on paid ads, and then they're driving around in your neighborhood and they see your sign and you go door knock at their house. Like the impact gets so much more rewarding too, because you get more out of each little effort that you
That's a
put
good point. I'm doing what we do right now. Also, is we donate to my kids' school on their pantry program. So we know there's hunger insecurities nowadays. So the idea is that we donate on a quarterly basis.
Yeah.
So we're really trying to cement ourselves, and again, exposure in the neighborhoods that we're farming. So yeah, I think that is the next step, because I love the way you can zero in on the demographic, and there's so many different criteria that you can use when you're doing paid ads. So that's probably going to be a Q3, Q4 initiative for us, but it's something that's the back of my head for sure.
Nice. I love it. Now you got an action plan to put
I'll
it
start
in
with the
place.
plan,
I
right?
love it. Yes, exactly. Work backwards
There we go.
from your goal. And okay, I also have a rapid fire section of the podcast. Some of it we may have talked about, but it's rapid fire questions.
I am
Are
ready.
you ready? Okay. What is your best marketing strategy right now?
Myself.
Love it. Put in the work.
That's it. The grit, the door knocking, the events, just getting out there and being present, and spending the right amount of time with the right amount of people.
Love it. What's your best social media tactic for real estate growth?
Best social media tactic for real estate growth. Posting content that brings value, not just about the industry. So what's happening in the area, what's happening in Toronto, what free events are there, where the best dog parks are, where can I take my kids for free on a PA day. So again, 75%, you correct me if I'm wrong, I put 75% content out there that's, just added value, best restaurants, and then 25% is about our listings or about what we're doing as MW Realty.
At least, yeah, I love it. I love it. The most you give, yeah, top of mind.
Absolutely.
What is your top income generating activity?
Door knocking.
Nice. Which activities should every realtor
Door
do?
knocking. That's it.
Eliminate the competition.
No, I love the competition. Don't get me wrong. Competition's great. It keeps us all sharp and on our feet, right?
Love it. Yeah, exactly. And everybody's different. You're not going to be able to do business with everyone.
Absolutely agree with you.
Mm-hmm. Although there's hundreds of thousands of realtors out there, there are more people than realtors. Still,
everybody needs a place to live, which is the nice part.
Yeah, exactly. How do you win more listings?
Consistency. Nice.
How do you leverage a listing once you have a listing?
Well, you got to knock the socks off your clients and make sure that you're doing everything you say you're going to do and then some. So under promise, over deliver, and then you ask for a testimonial, and then you ask for some referral business. So always want to capture that digital asset, you know what I mean? Because that can be leveraged in many different ways.
Exactly. Repurpose your content. Love it. What's your key to building a strong network?
Be myself, be authentic, go out, participate in things that you wouldn't normally participate in. Like, for example, I'm assistant coach for my son's hockey team, something that I wouldn't have done in the past, but knowing I'm in real estate and knowing that it's a people game and it's a belly-to-belly business, the more people I can see, the more people I can talk to, the more impacts I can make, the more opportunity I think is going to come my way.
Wow. Love it. What is one piece of real estate advice that you disagree with?
Ooh, all the paperwork. So much paperwork. So I just recently did a lease for a client whose house we sold. He's downsizing. And just submitting the files to our deals department was, I think, 13 or 14 documents for a lease. So that's one thing that I don't agree with, but who am I to say that, right?
Yeah, exactly. What is a quote or a mantra that keeps you going?
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Wayne Gretzky. Yeah, that's
nice.
Yeah, that's a big one. Also, it's if you don't ask, you never know. But there's always a way to ask with tact, right?
Yeah, love it. What's the best advice you've ever received?
Best advice I ever received: be myself, be authentic. People want that.
Nice.
One thing
everyone.
I just want to say one thing is, I'm not sure if you're going to get to this question, but if I had one thing to tell anybody that's going to get into real estate, what would it be? Okay, I didn't know if you were going to get to it. I didn't want to forget it.
Do it now. Do it now. What's the piece of advice you'll leave for every other realtors?
If you can't generate leads, do not become a realtor. So one thing they don't tell you in college, you go to the school and you take the program, and it's you learn a lot about the market, you learn a lot about housing, you learn a lot about everything. What they don't tell you and what they should tell you up front is if you can't generate leads and you don't have a network and you're not a people person, you're in the wrong industry. That's the truth.
Yes. Yes. Check. Love it. Yeah. Everyone has their own definition of success. How do you define success?
I define success by being happy every single day, making sure my family's happy every single day, making sure that they're healthy. Money comes and goes. It's the people around you. It's making sure that, everyone we're a small family and we're a loving family. That's a big thing for me. So the real estate and making money is all an investment for my kids, for future generations. So it's family. Family is my biggest thing and something that I truly care about and gets me going every single day. Happiness is family, yes. And a happy wife is a happy life.
Yeah. Nice. Very cool. Before we end today, what is coming up next for you and your team and Moni in the next half of the
Great
year?
Question. So love to quick plug. We have a big barbecue, community barbecue and market. It is at St. Clair West, just west of Caledonia in the Panos Parkette across from Tavora Foods. It is July 26th, Saturday, 11 to 4 o'clock. There'll be tons of food and games and entertainment and music. Come with the whole family. We had a very successful one last year, and we're looking forward to it this year again. So we'd love to see you there, and that's all part of the BIA, St. Clair Garden BIA group. And hopefully it'll be nice weather.
Amazing. Yes, thank you. Thanks for sharing. And where do we find you
Great
online?
Question. So if you want to find me online, you can find us, you can go to our website, which is MW-Realty.ca. You'll find our listings there. You'll find information about our brokerage. You'll find information about the events and the programs that we have going on. You'll find out about our community involvement with the schools and how we're donating to the schools. Love to have a conversation. If you want to go for a coffee, find out about the market, I'm always available.
That's amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing all your tips and learning and challenges. And you did awesome. And I wish you and Moni the best.
Thank you so much for your time, and thanks for having me. And I look forward to working with you when we're ready to flick the switch on for the paid advertising. You got
Turn on the tap.
Have a great day. Thanks so much. Bye.
Thanks for tuning in the Sold Right Away podcast, where driven realtors come to get real strategies, real results, and real actions to take on to win more listings, get more leads, and close more deals. If today's episode helped you think differently or gave you a fresh perspective, do us a favor, subscribe, leave a review, and share it with other realtors who might benefit from it. And hey, what is your biggest marketing challenge right now? Reach out, drop a DM, or book a strategy call with me at soldrightaway.com. I'm here to help you market smarter, grow faster, close with confidence. Until next time, keep winning and keep growing.